ready for that. No, only peeked up the top, gave the info to Lysaurus. Good for one. The Sheriff, though, running low on ammo. Flash comes through. He won't dodge it. Now they're right on top of him. Easy trade for Heretics, but the site is claimed. FPX knew the ground they'd given up. Life up top looks to take it all the way onto Boo. And now they've got a foothold, an aggressive one that Heretics will have to fight for. And they win their first duel.
Aya's still up there, though. They might not expect the second, but they're playing as a unit, moving as a pack. Leaving Berlin, who hasn't actually been spotted in the corner, but Woot lands the shot anyway. Leaving Autumn to try and hold on. Utility expended, needs to land the shots first, doesn't go his way, and well, he's not going to get a second chance. Pistol goes the way of Heretics.
Yeah, you really see them sticking them in their tracks. It's to wait and retake it as a unit. Already finding one with the Outlaw. The players on backside might have a chance with the Classics catching them off guard. Decent damage to Benji.
How much they can get in terms of the kills, though. Not really playing alongside each other. A little bit further back for Autumn, and it makes this training quite a bit easier. One kill at least, make things that a little bit more costly, but you can see Rien's only having a pistol that is not really going to force any rebuys for the next round.
Catch these players as they make their way in or out of the site, but now the traps are down. Benji has been blitzed on, and with this FPX, able to fall back, playing a lot of players in main. They've lost their mid control, but that's not that big of a stress this late in the round. Main thing is keeping Life on the site and having the support to cover him as they cross. Even the TPUs to get out of there, and now standard post plants on a long range angle down an alleyway. Already finding Miniboo, and even if they smoke this one off, it's going to be hard to get this stuck all the way with a big swing. Gravwell keeps them back a moment, buys them time, but not quite enough.
Yeah, they're definitely...
Oh, Life is really committing to this. Decoy sent through a flash to start, and they're trying to catch a fight. Unfortunately, they have. It was Benji Fishy to take down Life and slow this push completely. The squad now trapped in by Old coming in from Woot. Big play from Boo. He's caught Autumn off guard. Barely any ground to hold on to for FPX, and now down to nothing. Berlin, he's made it to the site. His sneak up through B main is successful. Unfortunately, he's got 4 opponents to take down in a reveal that's going to make him give it away. The steps definitely shown Heretics where he is, and well, I don't think he's getting away with this one. The crash finally gets him.
Boo is nice. Boo.
Yeah, and he hit his shot. Simple as that. Mini Boo, free kill,
God,
and he's dashed right out.
That dart caught everyone. It caught everyone.
That dart caught Life as well. A shock dart sent through, picking off one. Damage done. Berlin down to 62. FPX don't have a lot to work with here. Obviously, still the rifle on Aya, but the rest of the squad just with pistols. And well, they are going to need a big performance to make this one. It's not about winning it. It's about keeping that economy managed on the Team Heretics side. They can't have all 5 players carrying rifles through to the next round, and at least there's the first to fall. Miniboo with Woot and Rien super low. This could still be an okay round in terms of economy damage for the attackers.
It does revolve. Maybe on a sneaky play from Autumn. He's making his way down mid. The problem is if his teammate falls, would mean that they eventually start looking back in the other direction, while the cam's going to do that anyway. Even still, the aggressive position of Boo means that a plant is going to be tough, and even still they're going to walk back into a trip, so there really is just going to be so much information. Boo is just waiting for a mistake to be made, utility trying to be cleared from Aya, but he is dead. Like, unless Boo makes a massive mistake, I don't think there's any way that Aya's going to survive.
No, of course not. It's not an angle you will usually clear, and not one that you can from the position he was in. Free for Boo. Even at the information with the trap being broken earlier, and obviously the steps were loud as can be. Autumn with a chance. There's one, and low HP on Rien's if he can isolate the fight, but he wants the rifle, and Benji's guarding it. 4-1, a solid start to this defensive side. Heretics to retake it, but little do they know the spike is going elsewhere. All they have to do on this site is buy time, and Aya's done a good job of that. Autumn might not be able to get out of here, but look at Lysaur's position, sneaking up through mid, cutting this defense apart, and Autumn's even picked another.
It's a double dip, almost a triple dip. They sell an initial fake, throw it into it. What seems
want a triple push up. They've spotted the operator already, and the dash actually caught on the wall. That's going to cost Miniboo his life. The flash stopped him from being able to see exactly where he was dashing to. Well, a terrific start for FPX, and I think this was a response from Heretics to the last round. They played it blind, tried to rotate, assuming FPX were going to be as one-dimensional as they were a few rounds ago, and instead, they now go for the push to get the early info, walk straight into the op, pick is found, and FPX can now go back to that 2D play because well, they've got the advantage. You're not going to have as many players rotating in.
They're pushing into what is almost at this stage a double sentinel. Yeah. It's a bit of a gamble keeping both players here, even having a rotation out from the side of Woot as well, who has been hitting his shot so far. Boo even going to just be waiting behind, but it's almost just a peek out straight behind the utility. Boo goes down, Benji is still here, looking to try and fight on top of it. He almost gets two. The second player so desperately low, even knows that he's still on this corner. Just waiting for someone to try and swing around that corner. I think he's got him dead to rights, a second to his name. But that wraparound, they're waiting for it, they're trying to watch for it. And almost getting that information might just give the game away. Berlin still managing to fight back with another. Putting thing into a 2 versus 2, but that time has been ticking all the way along. Benji looking to try and get things to half. He's succeeded, but with his teammate going down, it's now left all onto him, surrounded in the end. And FPX, multiple times, I feel like FPX might have to go to the workshop and try and shoot those before they go off. Again though, FPX just taking things slow. They know that a round like this is likely to have weaknesses, likely to have pieces missing, so they don't really need to overface.
All they have to do is get towards this side as well. They have the pit if things start to go wrong, but unlikely to be used in a round where there's mostly weaker weapons. Instead, this ultimate, the dimensional drift is used. Get into the site, root out all these players, grab the info, go for a very aggressive peek. The flash even thrown through by Woot gets nothing, and the control swinging clearly in favor of FPX. A 5 versus 2. There'll be no pit used this round, I'll guarantee you of that. With a plant on the bridge, this round has become very difficult for Heretics to even find anything in. You're talking about economy damage at this point, and it's one man.
I'm sure most people would put FPX at the bottom, but I'm not sure I do. Berlin already directly into the site. Loves his TPs, but it's a lot of damage done off the rip.
Yes, well, I is extremely low, but so too is Woot. Oh, hello. Crash still there to be used. Big backside push. Berlin holds the line for a moment, but then Woot on his low HP, the one to trade out, pick up the double. At least FPX scrambling.
Mid just to clear out that lurk. I think Rian's just had enough. He's like, he's going to be here. I'm going to check. But again, it's an opening left on that A site, which is going to be a plant. Viper's Pit available, and there's nothing that anyone can do to stop this, other than maybe Blind Hunter's Fury to try and deny the plant. That might slow them down a bit, and that is what he's going to go for. It's not hit.
It was close, but unfortunately it comes at the cost of his life, with Life himself being the one to grab that kill. Blade Storm, we just heard it activated by Miniboo. They're going to commit to this. And going through that Viper's Pit with a Blade Storm might be an advantage. Find him, drop the right click, and get it done. Flash out a little early. Life's going to get ahead of the Thrash, but not destroy it. Luckily, it's gone too deep. It's inside the ultimate itself. You're not going to be able to recover that, certainly not with any form of ease. Miniboo, I almost expected him to go up top. Instead, he's just running it through, finding one, but it's not the Viper. Now you're down to the Operator. That's not the right weapon for the job. The spray's good to drop the diffuser, and although Autumn falls, the time already too far gone. And they
the round's done.
Well, they had 2 lurks.
Yeah, and then they go hunting. Life again was the guy who got the kill on Rian's.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. No, look away. Look away.
When you talk about Miniboo being self-critical, I hope he can let that one go. That's a rough one.
I hope other people can let that one go as well. I think that's going to be in a montage or 2.
They only have pistols. At least they only have pistols this round. Right. It's not as bad as it could have been. That's rough, man. That is very rough. Yeah. FPX.
GB loves the phrase "from the top rope." I don't think that's what he meant.
From the mid rope, right down to the bottom. Well, 5-4, and it's a 5v4 with FPX having the lead without drawing blood themselves. They've got to be happy about that.
Berlin did get the kill.
Technically, it was given, but he wasn't too involved. It was by proxy.
No, it was just fear. He saw into Berlin's eyes. Maybe Miniboo has nightmares of Berlin in more ways than one.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. 4 players to try and find anything again. I feel like we've been saying this a lot, just an attempt to do damage, and wow, Woot's gonna get one for free. That's not too bad. Trade eventually there from Aya, keeping them honest. No ultimates if they needed them, but I don't think they will. This is now falling perfectly into place for the side of FPX, I think, but hey, FPX are meeting him.
They absolutely are. Look, with a guy like Life, we've seen this a couple of times. He's willing to play a little bit loose, a little bit crazy. Setting out the late lurk for Berlin. He's going to be covering the back lines where the traps from Cypher don't. And for Team Heretics, same old thing. Group up, play this as a blob, move together. Smoke's online for Boo fairly soon. He's popping down his stars as we speak. But the time here is a big problem.
They've had it for a while. They could section things off. There you go. Space taken, but they have to deal with life.
They also have to be quick because Berlin's on the way up behind. And if he finds that space before they've claimed the site, this could be an absolute disaster. Problem is, denying this defuse is very difficult. Oh, the run through is good. And the shorty comes out for more. A gorgeous play from Autumn. Themselves in the late round. Now it's going to be the same thing.
Read again.
Lysor mid lurk, play to B site. But again, Heretics, all the utils here, and they've got Rians this time.
That's it. His darts have been impressive, and he's got it online now. Trying to get that information, and it is eventually going to be denied. In fact, not catching anybody this time. The one time it would have been almost instant death for the side of this attack. They're taking the space, jumping up. Benji's found the first. Holding that line, but it's not clean. It's not pretty. Oh, Aya's managed to take him down. Timer ticking and the spike still in an awkward spot. But again, he's always there, always behind. The timing's going to be everything, though, as Rians drops another. He's heard the steps of Miniboo coming behind him. He's trying to catch this guy off guard instead, and now looks to switch back. That plant is just about going to be coming in time. And they've still got to worry about that flank.
Yeah, it's made its way up top now, and, well, it doesn't look like the flank's the main problem. Berlin's holding strong. Autumn's here to support, although he's lost his head. Now the flank going to be dealt with, but ammo is the main concern. 8-4 as of a start.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it doesn't get much worse, and just look at already what's being attempted. You got the Viper screen down in case they needed to cover mid, but instead they've just TP'd right into it. Benji, though, has managed to catch the first player. I want to point out, there was more than one. Berlin is still going, but it seems like Boo is very aware of the potential of further aggression. They are holding for this FPX squad.
Yep, making some pressure on A, but I'm not even sure if they're looking to commit. For FPX, though, it seems quite clear that there's about to be a hit on that side of the map. The steps, the noise, the utility is now over there. 3 players now stacked up, with Berlin left with the responsibility of hearing the steps if the rotations come through. And considering they killed Young on mid, they might start to go quite quickly around. There's a lot of pings here, though. Pings that certainly indicate they're suspicious of a player being around here, and they've caught Berlin. Okay, the snake in the grass dealt with, and Heretics, I think, are going to move into the B site. Yes, they are, and it's wide open.
Yeah, they've been methodical this round. I think they were very ready for that mid push, something that is attempted by FPX in a fair few rounds.
30 seconds left.
Watching it from multiple angles, and while now for the defense, they are going to need themselves a bit of a hero play. Wingman will be sent through. A little obstacle course for him to make it onto the site, but defense are already here. All 3 players looking for someone to make a mistake.
Well, perhaps Rians has. He faced into Lysor, who seems to be hungry for some kills. Already picking up 2. And damage done to Benji. This is workable. With Lysor down, the pressure falls on Autumn. He's had some big plays, big rounds, but it's a little tough to do in the pistol, surrounded on all sides, and Heretics much more open. Just one man defending it, and Life is about to go through the smoke, and that will be the end of him. A site now open for the taking. A little bit of Cypher utility awaiting them, but no one to execute on the back of it.
No one there. He can walk into every single one of those trips unless it catches him and pulls him off the map. I don't think that's going to be working. And I was about to say, surely at this point, if he hasn't realized it by now, we have a problem. For the rest of the players, it may genuinely just be a, well, I was going to say die to the spike, or, you know, there's other ways. Oh no, I tripped.
I have tripped and fallen. No. FPX, I think the spike is the likely play. And look to just punish anybody that gets aggressive.
If they catch someone, get an orb. The thing is, none of their ultimates are even remotely close. Lysor is the closest, and I don't think it's worth risking giving stuff over to the other side. So Boo is going to gamble. He wants to try and get himself a little closer. Only has a pistol to play with, so it's an orb for an orb. Not going to be the worst.
Going through first, you've still got to avoid those traps. That's exactly what Miniboo does. Updraft dash takes Heaven control, but no punish just yet there. Lysor eventually falls from the jump up. Minibu looks to be a thorn in their side. Up in Heaven, not just by himself, but with two players, make that nobody. Woot dies, and the fallback from Boo now leaves Minibu alone.
They've seen him. It seems like it. Lots of utility being expended, and he's isolated. And the aggression elsewhere hasn't succeeded either. Boo falls, puts the advantage with the defense. Rians and Benji. A little bit of an angle over the top, which might just give the game away. A nice shot from Rians, puts things back into a 2 versus 2. And for a moment, it looked like Ayung was going to try and jump around, but he's thought better of it. That time continuing to tick, Rians continuing to land every shot.
Heretics start to look somewhere else, start to move, and abandon those lurk catches. Well, if Berlin hadn't walked in with his back turned, I think that could have been a different fight. Instead, Minibu grabs the opening. It does spur them onto the B side where everyone's waiting, and it's Ayung taking 2 headshots at that with the Guardian. And they're in a bit of trouble jumping across that bridge because Ayung's still waiting. His 4th kill locked in already. And Benji Fishy left in an impossible situation. 3 players and Ayung looking for the ace. He's got it locked in.
Life though, well, that's just absurd. He just tried something so risky, and he has walked into. Yep, that's the whole Heretics team.
That is everybody. Ayung might be in a position to get under that. I think it's just about going to catch him. We'll see. Yeah, he's had to break it as he makes his way through, and now they're aware. They're turning.
Would have made it if he was bold. That's all I'm saying. Another win for the bold gang.
Another win, the first win, let's say. Wow. Team Heretics, 4 versus 1 at this point. It seems to be locked in, but it's Ayung on the other side. I'm not certain it'll be an easy victory if he decides to go for it, but definitely one that seems locked in.
I believe.
Economy, a little shaky. And for the defensive side, I think it's better to just carry this weapon through to the next. They've made the to take the fight. For FPX, rotation comes through. Life now in position, ready to take this B fight. In fact, a decoy sent straight through, and Life is awaited. They let the decoy run past, took the main man down, and now the advantage, well, actually quickly flips hands. Autumn making a fight for it. Boo, though, answers back up alongside Woot. A 2 versus 3, a retake needed for FPX. The spike planted relatively open. The Thrash online just in case. And there's not a lot to say for FPX in terms of their chances. They need picks, they need to get aggressive. At least they'll have the information to work with, but I don't know what that is going to get them. Maybe point the guns in the right direction. Little lurk around from Ayung. He's going to go for it, yeah. But find absolutely nothing. A firing squad waiting for him.
Yeah, Rians is there, so clean with it at the end. An almost perfect trap if somebody walks into it, which they didn't. So now the rest of them are going to go hunting this guy with a Guardian. Ayung is gross.
He needs to stop buying the Vandal.
Yeah, waste.
There's no reason. It's 20 and 11. So many of those are Guardian kills. So many of those are 1-taps. 50 seconds on the clock. Spike's already made it to the B site. Planted as we speak. Woot, well, his Dizzy's gone. He's going to play aggressive. He's not going to recover that Dizzy up top instead. To try to disorientate the team. The defensive side with a flare of aggression. Benji's caught one on the flank, but there's a lot more coming. 20 HP left on Ayung. That'll limit his impact. Autumn, I thought he had something special up his sleeve, but just the one to be found. Still, though, a 2 versus 2. If Ayung had full HP, I might even favor them in this position. I might favor them still. A chance with both solo. 10 HP in the difference. Shock dart in. Rien's finding it. Yet to really make any ground. Rien's considering the drone through A, making it look like this is where the play is coming in, and the hope being that the rotations do come through. Life is TP'd off B at least, so they found it an easier job on that side of the map. Oh, and the push through into Heaven.
Leaving one player there, it's Berlin. He's going to be actually pinged immediately by the Dizzy, but it allows him to go back into position. Woot, though, defending his little bro. That means they're going to get into that after plant. Utility retrieved. The rest so far away. Ayung, though, has pushed in on his own, and well, he's going to get double swinged for it. A little bit over-aggressive, a little bit individualistic, and because of that, the rest of his team are now still a man down, and they've got to be worried. There is the latest lurk on planet Earth from Benji. He's only just made the drop. I think it actually got heard by Autumn, so he's now waiting. That's another kill to their name, putting things back, but again, Rians, so clean, so confident in these late round scenarios. Autumn's just going to try and get in and defuse this, but actually, I was going to say maybe he wouldn't be pulled off, but I think he has been. The angle not being able to be kept, and eventually it's going to fall flat on its face. Another round. He's got the Thrash actually going in behind him. That will clear the back of the site and give them all the space they need.
Should even be able to get back over to recover that, but Woot, picking up the kill onto Young. I don't think he's going to be going for Thrash. Instead, holding onto that control. Up close is Miniboo. Ready to take the fight. No one there to support him anymore, though Heretics fall back into much more passive positions. Miniboo's on his own to slow them down, to make it costly for FPX. Now there could be some trouble. The ult forces him out of position. He knows he was about to be revealed, but Lysor gets the kill. Now the aggression from Life. Flash. Should have another. There it is. Popped and ult completed. Not able to find anything. Sending the decoy through. Just buying the space. Keeping them back in the choke point as the defuse starts. Now he'll body block. Look to absorb those bullets for his teammate. They've killed Life. And now they need the diffuser. Looks like they'll get him just in time. With it ticking away, all they have to do is deny that defuse with the man advantage to their back. Crouch walking into the smoke. An unfortunate one. The 12-9 on the board. Heretics on the cusp of victory. In a map they were 4-1 up in and then lost a streak of rounds, but Rienz is pulling them, kicking and screaming back into this series.
Yeah, it's going to sound harsh, but when you have initiators putting up this many numbers, sometimes your duelist can have a bad game. Like, it really just, it's so ridiculous how talented these two Turkish players can be.
Get out of my way!
And let's say it's been needed. FPX have at no point looked out of this map. In fact, it looks like it was going to go dominantly in their favor at a stage, but the second they got onto this defense, it's been a round won by Young. And other than that, not a lot to write home about. Bladestorm in. Young also has the ult available, and Berlin's gone pushing. So is Autumn.
Yeah, they got all the control. They know it's an A-hit that's coming through. The thing is, Benji, he doesn't react in time. The player on the side of his screen, Autumn's picked him up, and now the flank comes underway, or the quicker rotation through the vents. Young able to grab one, and it's Lysor's double. At least giving them a chance in this with low HP, the decay fading, but Boo still on 54. They'll have a tough time in closing this one out. Still stars to play with. Has his grab well, and that is going to be the port of call to start this one off, buying him a little bit more time. A lucky spam could even the odds. And indeed, they baited out immediately, aware that he's going to be trying something nasty like that. He needs to start spraying. He knows this could be being diffused, and they're waiting for just that. He's seen both. Now he knows it's not even half just yet. He's got a bit more time to play with 4 bullets, and not enough to take them down. The defuse will go across the line for FPX. They'll reach double digits, but they still need 2 more.
Yeah, I think he was incredibly wary of the flank initially just because. But as we've seen, they're very good at streaking rounds together.
With these weaker weapons, I'm not expecting much. Woot, though, has the rifle and is able to grab himself at least the trade to start this one off. Moving towards the site, we'll see the plant come in from the wingman. Already mostly through. The spray's not quite landing, so they're able to fall back now. 2 rifles, 3. Well, make that 2 again. It's Boo and Benji Fishy holding the chances of this squad in their hands. They only have 2 chances to close this out, and this one, well, it's not quite their best opportunity with Boo tagged up, or well, decayed down by the Nightfall. The defuse already underway. Here comes the shock dart lineup, though. Grabwell already used to start this one off. Flank spotted as well. Lysor won't get a free kill, but with Boo falling, the numbers thin out. They've dealt with flank, but they haven't dealt with the defuse, and the Hunter's Fury way too late. They'll get a tag, but that's all, and an ult expended for little to no impact.
Yeah, they must.
Well, it absolutely is. We saw Thrash put into the hand of Woot, and now sent out to find a victim. Drop. That was an interesting dash up top. Young in the perfect position to punish it. And now Benji, well, he's not going to get away with absolutely anything. They really want to fight for heaven for Vents, but they will get nothing. Heretics left down in the dirt. 12-12. East side, unfortunately, they won't be there in time. Look who snuck into position, though. Boo. It's not a normal spot to be playing from, and they're not even going to clear it. They're not even looking this way. That's the spike right in front of him. He's letting it get half planted just in case he can find another kill, and not quite, but he does the damage. Lysor on 8 HP, but the advantage sits with FPX, and it's Lysor that's going to go forward to plant this spike, I believe uncontested, unless there's a crazy shock dart. There actually was! Rienz fires it in and takes him down! And Autumn and Berlin, now another man sent in to plant this spike, a death sentence most of the time. I believe another, oh, it's a reveal, in fact, not a shock this time. It was sent through, and it's caught the information. They know where FPX are holding this from. Autumn needs a big play, and only the one to be found. Berlin, 1 versus 2. And they're all going to be diffusing in that narrow little alleyway. If there is a chance, the spray might just work out, but they're trying to bait him into a fight. He sees they're not diffusing. He'll buy this time just a little bit further. In fact, the clock here could prove to be the biggest enemy for the side of Heretics as they start this diffuse yet again. The swing is in, but the shots don't land. FPX punish this time, and it's Heretics to push to 13. Re-ends with a phenomenal round. That shock dart was quite a few times, more than a handful of times, but this time they're not checking it in time. Luckily, Lysor reacts, finds the kill. The defuse started, at least that's as far as Heretics know. Some kills come through, though. They reclaim the space. The Odin takes Lysor. The drop from Berlin is good. Able to at least find the one, and Rienz is incredibly low. Boo's caught up top. That's a big mistake. All he has to do now is root out Rienz and deal with Woot, but that's a big task halfway when Rienz swings in.
Hey, he can pull out a Clove, drop 25 kills, so let's give him a chance. Over with the chamber, and there you go. Pick and out.
A nice start for that defensive side. A little bit of aggression going down on A as well. I'll try to get some control, push up behind them early on. Team Heretics, well, they could be funneled into just one angle, but there's always the potential to take that teleporter and bring it to the other direction. And looking for the flanks as well. It's Boo creeping his way back. He's turned at just the wrong moment, but corrects in time. Life down, and now Woot's clearing out that angle. They found the second and sent him straight into Boo and straight to the Shadow Realm. 4 versus 3 with FPX now looking to pick up the pieces, but the position from Berlin could be everything. He's got 2, and that's the spike with him.
This is such an absurd round. You'd think the defense are on the attack the way that they're pushing. And why are you going to expect the third player to be pushed up? The thing is, he's alone, hiding in his own smoke. And while he gives a little angle over to Woot, Woot's going to land the shot. And look where the remaining defenders now are. They're kind of ready for this.
I have the spike.
Oh, yeah, they've rotated in just in
30
time.
seconds left.
Lysor stuck in the corner. Off bat, he's waiting for the walk through, and it's going to be Woot rounding to take the fight, but the shot is delivered straight to the cranium. Only Autumn. 1 shot left in the golden gun. It's his ghost that's creeping up close and finding them on the spams. The silencer lending a hand, and round the side he goes.
Heretics off their game because Heretics are very happy to sit back and be passive. Well, they're not going to be allowed to do that.
No, they're not. Of course, it's the Outlaw that picks up that opening. A strong weapon, by all accounts. And Young,
he couldn't have done that with a Marshall against unarmored players.
Nope, not possible, Tom.
No.
You know, he wouldn't have had the confidence, and that's what it's all about, just in case they ball shields.
The last round.
Yeah, you know, very shy player, I think it's fair to say. But no, for FPX.
Yeah, Australians are known for being very shy and timid.
Yeah, right? Reserved, quiet. Yeah, that's
just like Mac, mate.
He's
incredibly shy.
Quiet bloke. Yeah, you'd miss him in a quiet room. Well, FPX, they found themselves a strong advantage to play with. Heretics have next to nothing to work with, and even the Ghost is doing work.
One enemy remaining.
This is just a chance for, well, I was gonna say on the attack, but even still,
Catch them.
I think they're planning to try and disrupt this attack side. Wow. Rian's kind of clean today.
Not a bad start, that's for sure. And Young not going to last much longer either. They've avoided going into Berlin's awaiting arms, and now they've spotted him too.
He's going to let it hit him. He doesn't want to shoot the judge.
No, and actually it might just work. Now they think there could be a rifle in there. Let's see what we've got. What's behind door number 1? It's a judge, and now it's time to leave that guy alone. You can have all the space you want in lamps, but you got to get to the site to defuse, and that's where the difficulty spawns. Paranoia used to try to keep them back. Again, Rianz can see clear as day. The orb going to block him out. Flash goes up top. Benji's around the back, inside the smoke, waiting for them to emerge, and he's caught himself a double, almost a third, but to get aggressive early on, has the TP to fall back on, getting a little greedy, going around the corners, and there's Boo, waiting for him with the iPad out. Wasn't quite expecting that aggressive of a peek, and now the punish is being delivered.
Sorry guys, I didn't expect him to swing all the way down mid without checking one side. Sorry, I wasn't aware of it. They're going to try and immediately pivot to the other side of the map, but look who's there again. Autumn playing this rotational operator, and he's got Life alongside him. A lot of support, and now 2 men down.
The dominoes have started to topple at this point. For FPX, everything is working out. Another pick as Rian's comes out of the smoke, and the rest of the squad still sat up in hookah. Now they fall back, looking to take it the other direction, and perhaps...
But that's the thing. As I said, I think if you try and play regular, to the book, standard Valorant, beating them on this map is incredibly difficult. Already, Thrash going to be utilized and straight through the TP, but they're met with Benji. 3 disrupted. And wow, swings and roundabouts. Sometimes the aggression works, sometimes you get triple sprayed down.
Yeah. The fact that these players turn so quickly, the doors open, and, well, they seem to close on the round, at least, with FPX having an operator, Lysor. I'm not sure that they're going to want to commit these weapons to it. You look at FPX, post-plant utility doesn't really exist, barring the snakebite, but for Team Heretics, that's not quite the case. They've got their snakebite, they've got their molly, they've got Rian's, and I think they know the mosh pit was already used, but even the flash to re-execute out for a fight. The seize as well from Woot. It's not one that I'd expect a big commitment from, especially with now they've cleared the site. They've seen that it's most likely post-plant setups. These weapons may just be more valuable carried through for future rounds, although, I mean, Lysor is very aggressive. He wants to make it costly for Heretics and at least drop a few bodies. As he fails, Autumn's out.
Yeah, I think Autumn always had the plan, unless his teammate got a couple of kills to just fade away. Everything else they can repurchase.
And that's the problem. If things don't work out, that's often going to be what you do, is switch it up, change your pace. We saw that in the last round. Now Autumn being dropped is traded out for life. Gotten aggressive out on B long, at least keeping a foothold for this site that isn't just deep. Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to fall back at this point, at least maintain the control. But this guy, I should have learned my lesson. I thought I did earlier. He always keeps going. He's going back out. No, he's not.
He's thinking about it. He's going to get revealed.
Okay, he's back.
He has his ult as well, though. So there's always a chance to double dip, especially with space being taken now. You know, yeah, every angle's being checked before they attempt anything. Aggressive control into the showers means that they don't really have to worry too much about the TP. It's a position that they've already been caught once with Berlin, but Ayung's now on spot. Lysor trying to just see if he can get any information, because at least then he'd be able to slow them down.
30 seconds left.
Well, the seize hasn't quite caught in the flash on left, and it's even caught life, I think. They want to try to back out, but mollies are covering them. Orbital strike comes in, sectioned off by Team Heretics, put in a box. Life at least able to find a one. How is that correction landed? At least Benji falls. Life's work is not for nothing. In fact, it seems like the advantage will be converted into a round win for FPX. 4-2. And I honestly, watching Life play this game is just perplexing. I don't know how he's getting away with so much in these
plays.
Remember, we had it in the last round as well, but no chance to use it in the chaos. Miniboo's got the showstopper. Ready to work with, but Autumn picked off in the last round. He'll take 2 first bloods in this one to make up for it. That is a devastating start. And now that showstopper, that's just an afterthought. Walking through the Viper utility. Oh, the timing. The judge still comes back for 1. And well, a 5 versus 1 emerges. Good luck and condolences for the round to Benji Fishy.
Well, it's gonna have to be an insane 1v5. They know exactly where he is, pop flashes, and well, we talk about how aggressive this team can be, but both players falling back. They want to try and group back up with Autumn, and he's not falling.
Especially in Berlin's hands with what we saw previously, and when you've got the Viper util decaying you down. Here he is with a chance, but Woot's the one to shut him out. Now an opportunity for Heretics, even with the weaker weapons, if they can keep these trades up, and they're doing exactly that. 3 versus 2, and some weapons to be recovered with a plant coming in now. And Wingman online for the late round. Autumn's on the flank, the long way around with Lysor inside that smoke in spawn. It's going to be a tough split. They have to win their individual fights.
Is he going to get revealed? I don't think he was. The Wingman didn't quite reach. Boo has gone looking, but hasn't seen anything back towards long. If he goes to swing this again, he's going to be met with Or either a headhunter or an operator. In fact, he might not even check.
Player
It's
standing.
going to be a free kill, but they've already managed to clear out Lysor. Around looking all but over, as him getting into some of these closer range positions is going to be impossible, and Rian's even.
They have a chance to continue this fight.
They actually have a three-man setup ready and waiting. Immediately getting rid of the Thrash, and life just keeps going.
Spike down A.
2 kills already. Boo tagged up a bit, but he's lost some health himself. Not going to overface this. I feel like they were so ready for them to try and use the Thrash. They literally put a firing squad to deny it, and then took 2 kills.
Well, that's it. As soon as the Thrash is used, you know they're all going to be funneling through that choke point. But life, time and time again, just surprising us with the individual skill. Berlin dropped in life low, but the trade is quick from Young. It's been so clean on these ranged fights, with Heretics sent back the other direction, moving towards bathroom 2 versus 4. And again,
look at the push-up as well. Like, they don't have to worry about B just because of where Autumn is. Like, he's so far up at this stage that unless they're going to go through the spawn, and even still, if they don't step or hear them, Young perfectly placed, but loses the battle. Still, though, it allows 2 players to be here, but you have to bear in mind how low life currently is.
Autumn spot allowed him to keep
left.
B long control now, though he's abandoned that trap to move for the flank. Lysor does well, landing that one, but Benji's got some fight left in him. 50 HP! It's remarkable. Now, if anyone peeks him here, I'm not sure they'll be quite as lucky.
It is got to be a little bit more careful. No get out of jail free card this time. I think he was a bit lucky that the player he faced off against was the player that only had a classic. Otherwise, that could have got dangerous. Again, still no escape, and he is going to be connected on by every single PC utility. Miniboo has managed to catch one, but there is an immediate swing and counter. It was an ult or 2 invested by the side of Heretics, but what has been a running streak for the side of Heretics, finally they managed to shut out Autumn, but he's not alone. There are more players there, one lurking within the poison orb, but it's only going to be the 1-for-1. Berlin, he's revealed his position as well. And although there is a player looking to come in from behind, Heretics this time are going to get the afterplant with an advantage.
Ooh, style points for that one. Nice clear with the trade potential. Yeah, Heretics advantage to play with. Got it locked in. But last time that we saw Autumn picked off, it was Life to step up for a massive round. We'll see if it's going to be the same here. The flash to support the initial push through. He's gone around the long way, fighting it for control over Lamps, and he's found it. At least to begin, things are going well. No flashes left, though. Leaves the dry peaks, and Berlin with a 1 versus 2 after his initial. Already starting to defuse, looking to get it half, but Molly comes in. Smoke soon to fade as well. He's peeking out on the side of it, but they know he's not defusing. And there's no need for them to swing, although Rian's obliges eventually. There's another round on the board for the attacking side. No matter what, Boo bypassed that utility, and the Seas has actually caught Young. He could be in a lot of trouble here with Miniboo going up and over. The shot doesn't land from the showstopper, nor does it from the rifle. Young still kicking on the site, moving back to clear Boo, who luckily wins the fight. Some breath still for Team Heretics, and the flash in. Life is going for another big play, but only the one to be found.
That keeps things even. Plant yet to happen, so you can see the doubt. Autumn's actually going to go back towards the B site. Still has his trap available, so he knows that they haven't made it towards Hookah just yet. And actually, just this patience from the side of Heretics has at least made the defense slightly weaker.
It's thinned out the numbers for sure, but Berlin's not looking weak. What a shot with Boo down. The spike retrieved. Rienz is going to try to get this one planted. No wingman, though. He has to do it himself. And the TP out. Beautiful from Berlin. Even as the ultimate to use just to cause that little bit of paranoia for Rienz. And in fact, the ult is used straight towards the spawn. So now Rienz has no idea where this opponent could be. And Autumn's a mystery as well. Does manage to get the plant down in the chaos, though. Not deterred, but shot in the head from up in heaven. Berlin caught him. They're TPing. They're going back. Autumn was left lurking outside B. Heard the rotations. There's one player up close, Benji, but he's tagged down to 24. A flash on backside could get him out of dodge, but Berlin's already on him. The push from Rienz. It was at least covered for a moment by the Viper wall, but now he's all alone, doing the damage, and Elite dropping a few, giving Woot a chance. Lysor shuts him down, and Boo has somehow allowed Life to thread the needle. Unbeknownst to him, Boo's right behind him. This is a pantomime with a free kill, although it came a little close. Just the 1v1 left with Lysor's position unknown.
Oh, he's right above as well. Just looking for
somewhere they should be able to take it across the line. We said that FPX need to win the first map because surely they can't take it in the last two, but here we are. Rian's dropped to start this one off, and it's only pistols for Heretics. No big investment. They're saving their cash for the next, but a 10-4 lead. If that's where we end up with potential economic benefits there for the attackers as well, this will be a very tough position to climb back from. And the way they're pushing and pulling so far, pistol was fantastic, and look what they've done here. Fake on A, move back to B, and then rotate back to the A side. It's wide open.
As you said, though, like looking at this map on paper, like this was a map that, okay, they lost the last time, 14-12 in overtime to Vitality, a team that needed to win to qualify for Champions, whereas Heretics were basically already qualified because of the points that they have. So, and we were talking about burnout and all these excuses. We had so many different things when it came to Heretics as to why they didn't win that match. Maybe, in many cases, not giving Vitality the credit they deserve. Even still, that was a 14-12 loss. Right now, FPX, you remove all of those excuses from Heretics. They got a bit of a break. Okay, I'm not going to pretend like it's a massive one, but the same break that FPX got. And right now, on Bind, they are putting themselves into a considerable lead. 10-4, guaranteed. There's nothing that can be done in this round. The only thing will be whether or not there's any orbs or any cost. And of course, for Ion, he only has a pistol. Even going down isn't that much of a problem. He wants the extra orbs to try and get closer to his ult. Benji will take exactly the same thing, and the rest of the team, the ones with weaponry, are just going to fade out of there. And everyone else dying to the... For now, though, 35 seconds coming up on the clock. Pressure going to be put on to Benji, but he has support, or had support. Now it's all on him, but the flashes are just leaving him in a position to fight. Rians is doing an amazing job on the backside again.
Miniboo getting confident, getting aggressive, and getting shut down early on. FPX have found an easy opening duel. You talked about no need to push, Tom. Well, it looks like Heretics missed the memo.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea. Like, the supportive utility was there, but it's definitely put them in an awkward spot. As I said, after a pause, a lot of teams will take a gamble, but when you're 10-5 down, that gamble hasn't paid off, and it's not getting any better.
With Rian's down as well, big clutch player for the squad. A lot of utility that's going to help you to get back into a site. There's not a lot to hope for, except Woot finding some semblance of hope with a quick pick. Clearing out the space towards Bath, finding one player. He knows that's probably an isolated duel, one he's happy to take.
Okay.
And even with the decay, with the vulnerability, he is still able to win that duel. We're back to a 3v3. It's winnable for Heretics, and the flank hasn't yet been spotted from Benji Fishy.
Boo trying to get something. The steps will have been heard. And the TP has been removed, but they're still wary of where Life is going. In fact, he's going all the way around the back. He's in their spawn. Autumn picks off Benji. This now becomes so much more awkward because that player up above is going to leave them in disarray, but Woot is still going, still thriving, still trying to find anything that he can with Autumn, just buying as much time as possible, just baiting them as much as he can, and they're only just getting onto that defuse. He needs to try and find the shot. Is there going to be time for it? Is the question.
Off of it. Fair play. Gotta have faith in your teammates. For Heretics, there are a few risks here playing up close, but there's always a second player doubled up on it. Miniboo and Woot as an example, but Woot's dropped right off rip. Miniboo, though, able to get it done. This is what we're talking about, having that second man to provide that cover, to trade it out. They don't want to lose too many more players. Keeping the economy healthy early on is a big factor, and Spike's gone the other direction. Pressure's on for Benji.
Yeah, the problem is they haven't got as far forward as they probably would have liked. He's going to wait, almost play the bait. Just hold on while they fight his teammates. It's all too easy for Benji. Now for Lysor, if anything, he just needs to make sure he dies. Not wanting to just hold on to a pistol for the next round. He's going to go swinging. Already has the ult, so it's not even going to be for the orbs in the end. Will be revealed, but he has support. And it's actually the spam through the orb that ends up taking down Life. That's not the man you wanted to lose early on in this round. Because as said, like, you look at the other side, what have you now got? You've lost your star duelist. you have a double controller, single initiator, and a chamber. Like, this is not a space-taking composition if you lose the Yoru in the early stages of the round.
And not just that, for the round that's in it, economy on the line, Heretics about to build up a massive lead in terms of eco if they can avoid losing too many. This is a round that FPX don't want to be pulling any punches, and losing one of their big entries is definitely going to hurt them. Benji not going for the orb. Could have been Viper's Pit online, but he knows that risk not worth it at all. Thrash sent in, and Berlin's already pushed way too far forward. Perfect timing from Rienz on the ultimate. The snake bite keeping them back, and as they attempt to fade through the orb, Rienz gets another blind through the smoke. The spike recovered by Lysor, soon to be gifted to Heretics by the looks of things, but the op comes in, the shot fired, lands nothing, and now they'll be much more cautious. In fact, the molly gets him. Oh, it's a disaster. 30 HP for Lysor. He's at least got 2, but 8 seconds left. Spike to be planted, players to be dropped, and even saving is impossible. Miniboo's got him sectioned in. They're just going to fall back. They're going to concede the control. That could get Pit down for FPX and give them a real chance to fight for this round.
Spamming. Woot has somehow managed to dodge every single bullet. There goes that Viper's Pit, but with an immediate response. Both Nightfalls thrown in. Everything being placed into this round by both teams, but they have been able to buy quite a bit of time. Miniboo playing a game with Chicken. Berlin on the other side, and while Miniboo comes out on top, they now have to deal with this man. He goes for a little bit more. They've also lost the Pit. This is a bigger problem now. Life has at least been able to recover one, but it's left onto Ayung, and there's a counter Pit in play. He has to make a play into it, and they're watching for this. They're ready for this, but he managed to bypass them. It didn't matter in the end. Any teams that will have had to be eliminated from 2 tournaments only playing against Masters finalists, that would be the brutal way to go out. Life, though, here is that ult. Something they were looking for, but there are multiple players ready and waiting. The utility is so good, though. It's fantastic to support him.
And Ayung with another. Yeah, Rienz had thrown his own bit of util out, the Dizzy to try to get space, but he's denied it. Boo and Woot left with a tough decision. Do they go for this? They've got plenty of cash, so I see no reason why not, but it'll be hard to find it. Okay, player in the corner, but Autumn's clean on the first shot, and the flash leaves Boo in the corner. Autumn can post up, and that's where he's found most of his success in this series.
Ping, and while Woot's caught.
Always seems to be the place they get curious is exactly where Autumn is. Rien's able to trade, but the disadvantage remains for the side of Heretics. And although Rienz finds another, we're in the same boat.
Showstopper.
Miniboo, showstopper, not going to heaven though. Needs to pull his rifle out pretty soon because there's a peek coming in from Ayung, getting aggressive, and it was not expected with the tour de force landing a shot.
He gets the last player as well. Ultimates still in a decent spot though for Heretics. They could respond.
Oh, they could, but Boo's down to start this one off. It's not looking pretty. Life even finds another. Lysor trading out some of the disadvantages, but Benji's done well. His 2 picks puts it back to neck and neck. And now an opportunity with the spike dropped right under their nose for FPX. Look, if there was any 2 players you wanted to put in the clutch position, you probably would choose these guys. Autumn and Life have been very impressive, having to dodge the Thrash and just about managing the TP. Although he gets detained, he's at least safe around the corner. They get to reset, and Thrash won't be recovered.
He's been caught by absolutely everything over the last couple of rounds, but he will be able to hold on. It's unfortunate because they actually cleared the B site, but just didn't realize that singular kill on Taboo was enough. Ran the spike into A. And of course for Heretics, they're not just sitting pretty. They're going to go walkabouts, going to go looking to see if they can reposition. Now taking the TP would actually find an open site. The timing not working out great for the side of Heretics, and they're going to have to take the long road all the way back around. Now it might not be expected though for them to have pushed this far up so soon. The problem is, I think they're a little bit worried about full sprinting just in case someone still lurked in mid.
Well, I mean, conventionally speaking, this is where players will have already started the rotate. I think that's what FPX are playing for, that Team Heretics would be coming through the spawn. Maybe in their minds, they've already stepped onto the site. Little do they know it is the long play, but with the positions FPX are manning, they don't really have to worry about that. It's not an angle they're super exposed to, it's just Life, but now he's got the info, and the shot landed to start this one off. Big swing to get the trade, and Autumn finds him with his back turned.
Rienz is the one that's pushing up.
Curious look for Heretics. My goodness. Well, let's see how this one pans out. Haven't seen Boo on the fade in quite a while. In fact, doesn't even have that many games on it in total. Autumn has gone down right away. A few assists coming in. The fade alongside the decay from the Viper wall. And they're looking to push right in towards Heretics' position. Boo. Well, he has a tracer, a rough idea of where those players are, but he can't land the shots. Luckily, the rest of the squad is there to cover all bases. A flawless start to this one. What? You can almost say the same for the good old Boo.
Yeah.
Over the years, he's done whatever needs to be done. For Heretics 1-0 to start this one out, and FPX just play the classics. A very light buy for them in this round, and Heretics will be sitting back, letting them run about the map and do as they please. No control over Rubble, which is a big part of having to catch myself. A big part of Boo's gameplay is what I'd normally say, but well, he's not going to be doing that this time around. We heard from Alphier at the end of stage 2 that he's very bored of playing the same role again and again, and he wants to play everything.
But didn't Boo got controller of the year in the EMEA, right?
He
so
got controller. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I'm going for initiator now, lads. I'm going for the initiator of champions. Because why bother? Why bother playing the controller anymore when you've already completed it?
Yeah, completed it, mate.
Well,
got 100%.
This round should be very little. Any extra kills would be nice for FPX, and not an awful start. Managing to get those trades. Now, we haven't really talked about it as much, but the thing I love about this attack side triple controller is it means they can actually use that Viper screen for space into the B site for Wu. He's going to be on cleanup crew. Now, any extra cost here would be a weapon dropped. They've only lost pistols so far.
Yeah, and Aya has a chance, but Woot's a little too quick.
Killer angle. It's quite a nice Viper screen, but one that you can't normally allow. And something they shouldn't have allowed is Miniboo doing that.
Well, you think that when you commit life to holding an angle, that'll be enough, but Miniboo's off to a flyer. Started the first. Rifles for the most part. On the side of Team Heretics, not that many weaknesses. Odin bought up by FPX, trying to spam down early on A, but it's converted out now for the rifle. Oh, and it's converted back, and it's converted back again. They're juggling all the way to the spawn, and it's going to be chucked away. So just the rifles carried forward. And Autumn doing work with them already. That's Boo dropped the A site, weakened a little bit, but there's still a defender here.
Benji's still around as well. Rotation already coming in from Rian, so they bolstered this A-site defense, and with 3 players already committed to tree, this could be a problem. They haven't managed to get out of this spot, but Woot's going to give them the fight. In fact, Rian swings with him, and both players are dropped.
Yeah, the call was clearly made to face them together. Can't quite account for those shots landing in that fashion. FPX now only facing off against a weaker weapon in the form of Benji, and Miniboo has hit a few nice shots. We'll see if he can find a bit more. He's gone down the rope. He's on the site, round the corner. They're not expecting it. The angle's open. He finds his one. Nade thrown, but he has a player around the backside. It's Aya on his way, and Ayung not even needed, really. The kill was going to go either way.
For the rolls. And this early fight, well, fair enough, Wu. I guess you can just play a duelist initiator and everything in between.
Yeah, a man of many talents, that's for sure. A jack of all trades and a master of most as well. The Odin spray from Boo. It's stylish. I like it. A little bit of damage already, but Miniboo goes out to see if they're still there. Well, the info is at least found. Unfortunately, the advantage is lost in the meantime. Woot! Oh my goodness! 16 HP left on Berlin. 35, in fact, bit of decay in play. He's not going to be too healthy in any future fights. Thrash leading the way. B site to be cleared. I don't think it's going to find any connections. It will be recovered, though, for the post plant.
Yeah, again, you can see those smokes already put into play. Viper screen could delay even further. That's going to be the problem of getting in on this retake, is you almost have to disrespect some of the utility that is on the FPX side, otherwise you're just never going to get a moment. Paranoia is still available for Woot, but does he use it up top? That's the real problem.
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't catch Lysor. It was used too shallow. And I believe Thrash, yeah, it's just now back online. So the chances of this round going the way of Heretics next to none, with Rien's desperately trying to escape, but by it. So in goes the wingman for the plant. Almost undeniable, but a potential reveal with the swings out. They hope they can convert a couple of kills, but they are kept in position, whether it be by bullets or utility. There's not much to be done on the side of Team Heretics. Just Woot and Benji left to try and clutch it all. 2 versus 5. The best they can hope for is damage.
Yeah, either that or to go down to the spike. A couple of ultimates getting relatively close. Nice shot from Benji! We know how dangerous he is with this Sheriff. Looking for a little bit more. 3 kills already. Another one comes up for Wu as well. It's now somehow left on to just Berlin. This round was looking all but done. He's been revealed. They know where he is as well. And already sending utility, but it hasn't connected. It doesn't even matter.
A lot of the credits are down to their last, down to the wire. We don't. Okay. Don't want to see any crazy risks taken by FPX. They've got to be cautious in this round. It was Woot that got aggressive, that tried to get up in their face. He's lost his life now. That Robo Control not quite going his way, but Rienz has done well to trade it out.
I'm almost wondering how. It looked like there was a smoke down. Did he just tap a couple of bullets through it?
I think it
He
might
was
have
still
went down
towards
just
the A site. Maybe, it is possible, but even still, it must have just been a pixel shot that he connected. I'll be happy with that because the early aggression definitely didn't pay off. Still have a showstopper available and actually gambled back towards the C site. 3 players. Come on, Boo. Maybe a little bit lucky to be alive. He's going to fall back with the smoke shutting him off completely and that control going the way of FPX. The only problem is they don't have a mass amount of time to only be getting this control now. There's still a lot to do.
If they switch back to B, they could be in trouble. I think that's going to be the play. Usually when it's low time left, that's where teams decide to take it. The spike's certainly on its way, but the nade has kept them back, bought a little bit more time. We're down to 20 seconds. And Team Heretics now have rotated in to assist on the A site. They're ready for this push. Oh, they're just now pulling back from it, giving up that space. It looks like FPX, despite the clock being against them, will just about have enough time to get this planted.
Yeah, I don't think they mind that though. Having the lockdown available and the showstopper. In fact, the showstopper committed immediately. Maybe trying to force players back. Instead, Lysor goes forward. Gives them that advantage. Another comes up as well. Finally, Boo has managed to get a response, but it's whether or not they even want to commit the lockdown. I think at this stage, it would be, well, an oversight to put that into play. Benji, well, he pulled off an impossible clutch moments ago. This one might even have to be better, and Lysor's not going to give him the time of day.
And now Orb into Young and almost a double detain. But Thrash is stopped at the last second. Mini Boo up close now. Sheriff in hand, not able to land the shots. Life whizzing right by him as Lysor finds another. Now things are looking to be locked in for FPX. Just a few pistols left, and Benji's not getting away with it this time around. But it's not like they want to hold on to this control with their lives when you've the lockdown.
I think also just FPX hadn't gone C. They waited for that showstopper. The utility is sublime. Setting up Life perfectly, but the response from Boo is ridiculous. Opens the door and an oversight, it seems. No one aware of that flank. He might have used the Nightfall. I think that caught everybody, and then they just didn't hear the sound behind them. What a play from the IGL. As said, a role that we did see him play a bit last year, but as of recent, hasn't been on that initiator.
30 seconds left.
Lysor's going to get a plant, but they are close by.
Oh, they absolutely are. Lysor knows that, having already heard the Prowler go around the corner. Try to get himself a foothold inside of tree. Here's his opportunity. That door's going to open. That's a 1v1. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, Boo's playing it smart. If he opens the door, he gives him an avenue back into the game, back into the round. Instead, he's going to have to take down 3. Already 1 through the smoke, and the spams came close, but not close enough. There may be a hole in Mini Boo's earphones, but he's early fight and early success for Mini Boo. They tried to cross this one conventionally, and it's not even Woot's Robo Control that matters. The quick 1 shot to the head. Team Heretics, 4 players early on A main, now start to fill in the rest of the space. Again, they're confident to play retakes on B or C with a lockdown in play. No worries, really.
You want to fight it?
It looks like the B site retake will be necessary. Paranoia used. I expect Boo to fall back. I see him stood on the edge of that wall, though, and I'm thinking maybe he's going to go for a little nasty play. He's waiting for their aggression for sure. Viper's Pit used from the spawn. It gives them a little avenue back through, actually. They'll get very close with a lockdown in play. The players are sent tumbling back in the other direction. They almost have to fight forward for the most part. Boo's ready for them to start with, and Lysor manages to make it out, but denying this defuse could be difficult. They're going to have to find a couple of picks. With the players sneaking in inside the pit, they could already be defusing, and someone needs to get on that to check that they aren't. Pit gets dropped, shots landed by Berlin, put them in a good position. With the wall down, Benji has the line of sight on Young. and lands the shot to bring it across the line. That was a chaotic round, but
Denied. Now they have to go in. They have to push in. And Rians has rotated through, dropped the spike on the ground, but he gets caught. Do they have time is the question. Running in onto the site. I think they've just about got this plant. It's going to be incredibly close and just on the nose.
that's Viper's Pit to defend the plant as well. This was down to less than a second, but now the advantage is clearly in favor of FPX. Sure, some of these players are low, but everyone's going to be low on Heretics once they get near that spike.
Right there.
Utility, luckily life was dropped and he had a nade. That would have been a death sentence, but Berlin putting up a fight. 29 HP, that's his third kill of the round, and Young easy. You know, the orb up close like last round, maybe he can get the value. No, he's gonna have to do this dry. That's not an easy task for anybody. Has managed to get close, but the first shot doesn't land. The second does. A chance for a little bit more. He's dropped. But the Bucky isn't. It's recovered.
Hero Bucky.
Boo now has it in his hands. 2 bullets left, and he's out of here. Maybe a chance to reload as well.
Wonderful. He's got the skin for it at least. One of my personal favorites, but I can't say I'm expecting much from the Bucky from this point onwards. Boo does have his ult, so does Mini Boo. But I don't know if they're going to want to commit them here and more with Boo already dead. The Bucky might find another player. It has. Rians has got one, but they're in fact going to invest the Thrash. Just trying to make sure that this round doesn't fall away from them. It's still a 2v2 scenario and not the cleanest from Young, but he'll get the job done in more there. It does also mean they don't have that breach anymore, which I think was a big talking point for Rians. Someone who's so fantastic with that supportive utility is going to have to do it in a different way. Again, we see this patient, passive FPX. I think if you watched the last map, you wouldn't have expected to hear those words come out of my mouth, but this has looked incredibly different. Happy to play into the late round, using those rotations. That counter Nightfall is definitely going to make things awkward. You maybe expected to see some spam from Boo. Instead, Boo tries to go through.
30 seconds left.
Oh, Boo's found himself one, and he's safe in the back of the site. Showstopper's good for 2. Mini Boo making a mess of this round because that's the spike on the ground, and it looks like it's only going from bad to worse for FPX. Lysor, 1 versus 4. He'll find the first, but 10 seconds. Even planting this spike is impossible, and more so now because he's dead. Control over the mound without at least breaking it and giving away the info. Flash sent out, destroyed immediately, and look at that. Heretics pumped the brakes with a 3-man firing squad waiting for that B main aggression, and it has come through. The advantage now concretely locked in favor of the attackers, and FPX, the remaining players, Young, Autumn, and Berlin, have it all to do.
This is a tough position to try and get back from for sure. Rians clearly knows something that we don't because he is fighting. And wow, Autumn, maybe a bit of a nasty surprise for him. It's going to be the push through. Even still, that advantage kept. And waiting to see if there's anybody lurking around the edges of these smokes. In fact, looking like they're going to plant for the link. Instead, though, they're met by Young. This round maybe overplayed a little bit and almost caught out with utility in hand. Even still, a 3 versus 5 turned 3 versus 1. Boo has to try and turn it back again. And somehow, after such a deficit, Heretics clearly believing in the power of the pistol, and I don't really blame them. Seems like Boo's still going to be playing a similar game to what we see from him when he's on the smokes, lurking on that side of the map. And while for Berlin, it's a chance to potentially farm up orbs. It seems like he got a little bit lost there, though. Plant going to be tapped. I don't know if they realize the orbs are still here. And Woo wins that fight as well.
Well, you'd think I would have learned my lesson by now to stop counting Heretics out when they've got pistols in play, but I'll learn one day. FPX still have a chance.
My buddy's dipping away.
Easy sent far, but I don't think Wingman's going to survive too much longer. Yeah, he doesn't even get it to half. The shot from Life is nice, but they haven't dealt with the player on site. Rians is going out for more. Oh my, what is he doing? What was that?
Split pistol for once. And well, yeah, look at the economy. It's off the charts now for the side of Heretics. They're in a great place.
Yeah, but this is better than winning the pistol. Yeah, your opponents are down in the dumps, and now you get to play a round where you've been... Oh, hello. Okay, well, that's not ideal. Benji's down immediately.
Cover going out.
having been dropped. Now there's a, I believe it's a rifle recovered by Berlin. Opportunity for FPX at least, but yeah, well, I was going to point out that Heretics can build up a lot of money because they're only against pistols, but, well, they've already lost one, and now there's a rifle in the mix. Things get a little spooky.
Okay. The rifle's now on the ground, and they're going to want to try and retrieve that. Of course, the other side don't know about this. Trying to bait him into an awkward fight, but Boo's having a great time. Finally, will be put down by Ion. But even still, that time has been ticking, and the rest of the players on Heretics haven't just been sitting there. They've got into advanced positions. This post was looking good, but now they're both trapped into the corner. This could be a huge problem. Autumn's found another, and Wood's got nowhere to go, nowhere to escape. He's going to jump and just about survive, trying to do everything all on his lonesome, but he won't quite be able to. Left completely blind.
Smokes go down, but I don't think the plan is to go to the A site. It looks like the focus is instead moving towards B. Prowler clears it. They won't waste their paranoia, instead using it much deeper, stopping any re-aggression coming out of heaven. Nade pushes them back there, and the plant should now come in safely in the corner. A foothold for Team Heretics, but Life trying to take advantage of the chaos. He's gone straight in with the blast pack and got 2-3, lighting them up. It's Heretics on the back foot, out of absolutely nowhere. FPX have got control, and they're starting to defuse already. They've got to go running at them to stop this, and there's no stopping what's started here. What a round from Life. That is unbelievable. Back and forth we go. The Team Heretics will set the sights on the C side, although Grafwell slowing them slightly. Good damage by Berlin. Those spams are deadly. And even the snakebite kill for Autumn. In comes Thrash. It's caught one, but no one's there to convert on it. Flash used up. Young has to be careful, though. I don't know. Okay, they will convert the kill. And no punish. And then the swing from Boo traded out. 2 versus 1. And they could lock this round in here and now with the showstopper if they wanted to. But just 56 HP, and that call's probably being made. Wood is low, has his ult, and Spike's right in front of him. You're right, he could take that teleport from the shadows. He'll emerge on another site, potentially. But it looks like he's going to stick the plant here and now.
Maybe realizing it's a tough win anyway, and by he should be dead to right. Did he use it just then? Well, I don't mind him. I said I didn't mind him committing it to rotate straight away. No aggression from either side. Life's got to be careful he doesn't get wrapped on. He does have some support. The flash is going to leave both players completely blind. Woo, under serious pressure, and while that pressure is not easing up anytime soon.
Berlin, he's playing a risky game. With just Sheriffs, Team Heretics have done this before, and the Spike not down in a spot that's easy to defend for FPX. They don't want to take too many risks, although now the attackers are split. Benji's holding onto the space, presumably so the Spike can come back to him. In terms of utility, Benji hasn't used up any of his, but the Prowlers are gone for Boo. If he makes his way, he's going forward with the Spike. I thought he'd go back to the B site. Group up, take this one as a team, as a duo. Instead, even if he does that, he's now down to just 49 health. And Benji found a lot of space, although I don't expect him to do much here. Just sit, wait, and cover that plant when it comes through.
I think from
30
the
seconds
side
left.
of Heretics, they were hoping somebody would make a mistake. It's arguable that Berlin tried his best, but now the patience might just pay off. Benji looks like he might be about to be greeted. There's still plenty of utility to play with, but he is going to get the fight that he wanted, and he's going to take both. Now this becomes dangerous. The Nightfall committed, but it's only going to connect onto one. Boom, looking to try and fight this one, but he's run out of ammo at the last second. A very nice try, but ultimately the outcome is as expected. Did they use the pin? That's the real question. They should. With Stingers in play, it's definitely a possibility. On the other side of things, we've immediately seen an ult to try and hold them in position, but already they're pushing back in before we've actually seen the plant. And now it has to be the fallback. Never mind, though. Life has been able to take one down. Instead, though, he's going to be caught. A worthwhile trade. Showstopper out. It should be a kill, and it will be. Miniboo trying to fight up close. That spike still yet to be planted, but plenty of time to play with. And Autumn just holding back. That pit still available. still possible to be put into play, and now it goes in. Miniboo, third kill of the round already, but he is traded out. And now it's the players within the pit, and Autumn's in real trouble. He's caught by Rienz. It was the low weapons. It was the problem weapons, and once again, it is something that FPX just cannot deal with. And look at the economy on the other side now. Oh my god, he got two! He's got two off the back of just wall banging, and he's almost got a third! That's an insane start to the round from Boo.
There.
Mitchman's very excited.
I like this gun. Ever tell you that, Tom?
No,
I like this gun. It's a nice gun, it's a fun gun, and it's one that's given Heretics a real chance. Even up against pistols, you gotta be careful. That's one thing that I've certainly learned in this series. But they have found themselves an advantage that's almost impossible to throw away. We saw the 2 versus 4 from Heretics with Sheriffs. 2 versus 5, 1 versus 5 now with 7 HP. That is
Put it in
quite
the
a difference. Yeah, get ready. Autumn's name in lights. But I think this Supernova is going to be premature. It's going to fade to black. There you go. Boo with a triple kill.
Look to commit that into one of the sites, but it's seemingly, it's just going to be the allowance of that control to be lost. And then just hit the site elsewhere. Not giving a lot of information. The only thing is Lysor, but he is isolated.
Viper's Pit C and there was neutral A early. You think at this point that there will be some control, especially that one-way smoke gives it away. But it doesn't look like Heretics are deterred. In fact, Boo's moving around to presumably throw over the reveal. Or perhaps not. They're just covering the B aggression alongside the turret. It'll be a slower round from Heretics with 45 seconds left. The reveal does go through, but not outside of A. He's faking this. He's making it look like it's a B hit to keep those rotations dragged in the other direction. And it's Lysor that will have the pressure on him. He's conscious they could be here, but he hasn't used the paranoia just yet. Now they're close. Now the pressure's on, but he's caught the back turn. Paranoia out. It's caught him on the right. Miniboo can't see a damn thing. And shooting at the Tracer's not quite close enough. With Life stepping up to delete Boo. This one's looking done. The lead will stay in FBX's hands as they push up to 11.
Battle this time for A, but they've got to be careful. In fact, they're looking to try and get out of there. Woot is under serious pressure. They've got to give it up, but they've taken B in response.
Oh, they're fully in. 3 players in through the B choke point, completely abandoned by FPX.
Oh, no.
That's a sloppy fight if ever I've seen one. And Ultimate's here for FPX as well. They've got a Showstopper and Thrash to get back in. They're confident in playing the retake. Nightfall is available for Team Heretics, and it may well be used, and in fact it is used right now, clearing out Heaven. There's no one there. Now they start to realize where the push is coming from. All those steps are heard, but it's because Thrash is going to lead the way. Is going to take the point of contact. The seize is good. It keeps them in position. Showstopper used, but Miniboo makes up for the disaster earlier on with Benji up top, sneaking his way up close around that corner. Is a player and coming through the smoker. 2 more. He thins out the herd and leaves time so low that FPX are running for the hills, not even escaping the spike in some cases.
Trying to fight for this early control of Rubble, and again, it's the same. So much utility being expended, Woot being caught by all of it. And he's going to try and get out of there. Instead, though, they try the same play. They try the same ruse, and it is not going anywhere near as well.
That's the spike down. And a flank underway. Killjoy turret down, so there's no way they even get that information. And it's double flank too. Life is here as well. There is no stopping the ball for FPX in this round. It got... We open doors.
They expect it. Oh, they do. That's a big kill. Berlin going down. It was a risk taken, and it was a risk that I don't know if it was worth it.
Doesn't seem so, especially with that Showstopper online for Miniboo. He's the one picking the kill, but the ult was already there. And the C site now, knowing that there's Viper utility here, they're likely to use it to open the site. That's why Autumn has fallen back so far. He doesn't want to get caught by this big old rocket. But for now, there's no intention to use it. They're going to keep it reactive. I like this. Aware that FPX would probably fall back, would probably give them the space if they use it. Instead, they take the space for free. And now there's a Showstopper for the 5v2. It's fired in blind in case there's a snake in the grass, but it looks like an overtime is already locked in. A big play needed. Young's been fantastic in so many rounds. And a spam here, my goodness, it could do a lot. But Lysor, he's conscious of a player up close.
Yeah, would reveal his position, not knowing that there was going to be an alarm bot there. He's trying to find a way through the smoke, and now, well, a 1v4 to Ace. He's been unbelievable, but this would have to be the best of them. It seems like OT is inevitable, and maybe it was from the get-go. The way this map has been going back and forth all the way, why not keep it going a little bit more? 12 to 12, FPX versus Heretics. Going to give you much easier opponent. Already pressure being placed in. Woot isn't going to be the one to find the kills. In fact, it's Rien's alongside Minibu to do it, leaving 3 standing, but I can't count how many 3v5s we've seen so far this game, so Heretics need to make sure they don't overextend.
Well, many games in the past, I've been counting teams out at this point or a little further, but lesson learned. It ain't over till the pop-up comes in. 30 seconds, though. We're certainly close to the conclusion one way or another. Heretics backing off the A side as well, expecting this hit to be a massive rotation, a late play to see. Perhaps a push through their own spawn from the stairs, and they're covering all their bases, ready for these fights. Berlin can't sneak his way in, but they have at least managed to find the A site. A plant to be found.
10 seconds left.
But a 5 versus 2 retake. Team Heretics, even just trading at this point, will be more than enough.
Where do you go? Where do you fight? How do you try and remove this deficit? Are you hoping for a little bit of luck? Well, there it is. Still took some damage in response. Autumn tagged a little bit lower, has Lysor alongside him, but not for much longer. With 15 HP, I think all the miracles are gone from this round. It will be Heretics to take that advantage.
They played on defense. Yeah. He was alone, this time doubling up to provide that little bit of extra support. And he grabs a kill for his trouble. They were sent back and they were smoked off, but somehow he's able to land that shot for free. That's the opening that I guess is karma for the last half that they played.
Timing, though, is going to be everything. Minibu, as I said, impact is all that matters at this stage, and he's found a fight into that B side, but they're not going to look to play off it. You can see on the other side, Boo is waiting for a response, waiting to see if there's a re-aggress, an attempt to try and take this fight, but for now, much more passive. And that's mainly because, again, of that A site hold. You've got the cross being held onto. Autumn's position has been revealed, and I think they're just going to have to smoke this off and maybe get him out of that corner. That would not be a safe place to stay.
Still running into a pretty heavy setup here on C. At least the orb is down for now. It's not going to last too much longer. Those sprays are good from Berlin. That's his 3rd already. Damage done that Autumn converts on. And they're not letting it go just yet. Another overtime required.
Needing to go for too much of a fight. In fact, all of his utility is used to that degree on B as well. You can see the turret. Now the rest look to just try and hold on to what has been a massive point of contention in Rubble.
Not the normal hold. You don't have an easy escape a lot of the time. I mean, sure, Minibu can get out of there. He's got his blast packs. He's not on too committed of an angle. But then just take a look at Rien's. He's got no way out. The wall might help him for a moment, but okay, the spam is good. Now where does he go? He's stuck, he's naded, and hit by the snake bite too. Minibu gets out, but the trade 1-to-1. It's not fantastic for the defensive side. Less players to defend this map now, and FPX still have the ability to take this wherever they want. The door is open. It looks like the spike is still going to the A site. They're committing. I thought this could be a fake after initial contact, but instead they're going to run heavy into 3 players from Heretics. And it's Heretics coming ahead in all the fights. Berlin left alone, 1v3 with an op.
Yeah, with an op and no shields. Like, he's got 20 seconds. He needs a miracle. He needs a mistake. I don't even think he could pull this off unless Heretics do something silly. And, well, holding already. Benji, he's not going to repeat that. Absolutely no reason to. They could wait for him to try and grab the spike, try and plant, but they are not giving him anything. A shutdown and another chance for Heretics.
To 2 players dying, this time next to nothing. In fact, no damage, right? Walking straight into the site and finding the opening. That's life down with a good opportunity to convert the plant as well. FPX can't really deny this. They have to fight for the retake.
Well, yeah, this could be it. A man advantage, the hold from Boo. I don't know if they will have heard him taking that little bit of extra damage. Well, they definitely know now. He's revealed his position, but if anything, that could be worse for them. They're going to have to try and fight for this, try and get back in. Paranoia has been used elsewhere to try and reclaim the baby door. Lysor's going to get one, but still the kill's going in favor of this attack side, looking to try and hold the line, and that's exactly what they're doing. Needs to be someone on this diffuser when it just isn't happening. It's left all onto Autumn. He's fought throughout this series, but I think the job is done. Time and time again, you'll see these teams fight against each other, and unfortunately, FBX fall exactly the same way.